pretty fair showing. Okay, so there are some Nightbreed virgins in the house tonight, aren't there? Yeah, some people have never seen it. People have brought people who've never seen this film before. Well, you're not going to watch Nightbreed. It is not Nightbreed at all. Clive set out to actually adapt his novel Cabal, and that's what he did. And he spent all the time shooting Cabal. And the film studio took a look at it and they didn't like it. They didn't think it was a Clive Barker film. They didn't like the idea that the monsters were the good guys. They thought that was just plain wrong. And they ordered Clive to reshoot for 3 weeks, and they called them enhancements, but really they wanted it to be a slasher movie. And the film Nightbreed that you saw had a slasher element to it. And what happened after that is basically lots of people got up in arms about it, and Clive himself spent the best part of the next 20 years saying that there was a much better film. And everybody that was in it, Doug and Simon and everybody at conventions, was always asked, is there a director's cut of Nightbreed? Well, of course there wasn't, because the film studio didn't want you to see it because they'd fallen out with Clive, and they basically, you'll all know this, they killed the film. There was no proper DVD release. You can't hardly buy it in this country. You've got to get it as an import. So all that time passed, and Clive kept saying in interviews, yeah, there is a better version of Nightbreed, but the studio won't let me have it. And a gentleman called Mark Miller came along, and he got in touch with Clive, sent him a text saying, can I help you restore Nightbreed? And Clive said, yes, please help me. So he rang Morgan Creek and said, we want to restore Nightbreed, Clive wants to do it. And Morgan Creek laughed down the phone, so they thought this was a joke. They thought nobody would want to watch Nightbreed, so there's nobody here tonight. You don't want to watch Nightbreed. So that's what they thought. And then Mark basically got laughed at. There was no help to find any footage. And then he basically then started doing a bit of work for Clive. And one day he was in Clive's study, which is a huge room full of books. And he moved the book, and behind the book was a VHS tape that said Nightbreed on it. And he went, what is this? So he took it home, put it in his video player, and it wouldn't play because it was PAL, and he had an NTSC player. So he sent it to the UK. Some people called Phil and Sarah from Clive's website, put it onto a DVD, sent it back to him, and what actually was on the VHS tape was a work print. Now, if you've ever seen a work print, it's just like 8-minute really rough chunks of footage, of raw footage. And that was screened at a festival called Horror Hound in America, and it was screened to about as many people that are sat here tonight, so about 400 people. And by the end of the screening, there was about 100 people left, because it was unwatchable. So that, I obviously knew about that. I work with Clive and Mark. I go out to America about 6 times a year, work on projects, scripts and films. And I'd heard about it too, and then being a lifelong fan of Clive's work, I sort of did what you guys are doing now. I said, well, can I take it home and have a look at it? So they gave it me on a DVD. I took it home and I watched it, and it was really rough, like I said, and unwatchable. And I thought to myself, why is nobody trying to restore this? It's stupid. So I was lucky enough to have Clive's first and second draft scripts, and I had an editor called Jimmy Johnson that I worked with, and we basically took Nightbreed that you guys have seen and cut it up into chunks, like when you shoot a movie. And we took the work prints, because there was 2 by that point, and we cut them up into chunks, and then followed the script and assembled the film from scratch, and created a soundtrack. So all the stuff on there, the soundtrack's new. We used Elfman's score in a kind of interesting way. We brought Doug Bradley in and redubbed his voice, so some of you guys might have seen the little thing we put up called Dub Doug. So we dubbed him back and got rid of the German guy. A friend of mine who's over there taking pictures did some colour correction work. And we basically fed in 2 work prints on VHS that we colour corrected, and we built it from scratch, and it took 9 months. And I took the finished product to Los Angeles, gave it to Mark Miller and Clive Barker to watch. Mark Miller got in touch with me and said, I cannot believe what you've done, this is out of this world. And then I got an email from him saying, Clive Barker wants to send you some notes. Now when you admire Clive's work, you're going to get a bit nervous, aren't you, when he's going to send you some notes. You know, because I kind of like done this and kind of done this in secret. So I thought, shit. And then the notes came through, And there was 4 things he wanted changing. At the beginning of the movie, you'll see the first time you meet Boone, it goes Boone, Boone, but there was a third Boone, so I edit that, says Clive. He wanted me to move a shot in the beginning scene, one little tiny shot, and he wanted me to put a piece of music over a sound in a mortuary. That was all he asked for, and I spent 9 months working on it, so that blew me away more than anything. So we're going to talk about this afterwards, but what you're going to concentrate on now, all the people that love Clive's work that are here, all the people that have read Cabal, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get Nightbreed. Decca's not going to live. Right? No, they know this. Right, they've read the book, right? Otherwise I'll go into teacher mode and give you all homework and send you all the way to read Cabal. And Clive's sales will go up and that'll be wonderful. But yeah, so you're going to watch Cabal and you're going to get really interesting things like Decca's going to talk to his mask. There's going to be a psychic relationship between people. And spoilers. Okay, we'll talk about it afterwards. But the main thing I want you to do when you watch this is concentrate on the story. There are a few times in the film where the footage is not DVD quality, and that's because it came from a work print that's been restored. So please, don't hold that against the film. What will happen next, because all of you guys are here, is that Morgan Creek will start to work with us more, will release the footage that's in 20th Century Fox's vault, and one day, which I hope will be about a year from now, you'll be able to buy a Blu-ray with Nightbreed on it, and a Blu-ray with the Cabal cut on it, and a 2-hour documentary. That's what I want to happen. So enjoy the movie, and I'll see you all afterwards, and I won't spoil it anymore. Over to Sim.
Okay, I'm just going to play the film. As you know, we've got Simon and Nick from the film, and also a lot of the guys who worked on the special effects. In fact, there's some of their work here as well, which you can take a look at. Fantastic. So, enjoy the film. See you in a bit.